In this video, we'll be adding some icons throughout our application. Like for example, this toggle main nav text, we'll replace that with a icon. And that goes for the toggle setting button over here. We'll replace that text with an icon. And also within the main navigation here, we'll add a icon to the beginning of each of these link items within the navigation. That'll look really good. When we installed Angular Material through the CLI earlier in the course, we were prompted if we wanted to use the typography, and I said yes. And by doing that within the index HTML, Angular Material was nice enough to add these two lines for us. And here we have Google Fonts automatically set up for us by the CLI. If you're not following along from the beginning through the course, you'll want to make sure you have this line included within your index HTML before going forward. To view a list of icons that we could use, we could go to fontsgoogle.com. You can find the list of icons here at fonts.google.com/icons. And here is a whole list of different icons you could use. And feel free to pick whatever you prefer, but the one I'll be implementing in this video is the menu. That's one of them. Now I go inside the header, that'll look really good. But before we start using these icons, let's implement the component, the material icon component, into our application. And we'll view the documentation to help us with that. And then select the icon component on the left here, this one. And then here's an example on how we can implement it to our application. So we could use the mat icon element, but before we do that, we'll need to bring in the mat icon module. I'll copy this import, and we'll set this up within our TS file first. We'll apply this within the pages TS file, so I'll open this up. And then we don't need the index.html anymore, or the pages CSS. I'll close that down. And then at the top here, we'll bring in the mat icon module. And then also add it to the imports array. And I'll add that towards the end here. That's all we need to do within the TS file. Now we need to update the HTML, the pages component HTML. And we'll start within our buttons that are inside the header. So I'll close down both of these side navs. And then here is the button for the toggle main nav. And we want to replace this placeholder text here with a mat icon element. So I'll add that here. Then in here, we'll enter in the name of the Google font icon. And I know the name, and it's called menu. And how we could find that is if we go back to Google Font Icons, we'll go back here, and to the icon list page. And if you select this menu button, that's the one I'm interested in. And all the way at the bottom, you can find the name, the icon name. That is what you want to enter in to the mat icon element. So I'll copy this. And then you just paste it right in there. Next, we'll replace this toggle setting with another icon. And this one's called Tune. Once you update your second button within the main menu, we'll update the main navigation. Now, before we add our mat icon element, we'll need to change this around a little bit. So before we only had one element, the anchor element. So we added the mat list attribute like this. But now that we have multiple elements, I'll copy this right here. We want to use the mat list element. So I'll add that right here, like that, and then make sure I close it up. Then in here, we can add multiple elements like our anchor. I'll cut this out here. Then add that within our element. And then we can remove this attribute here. We don't need that anymore. And then we could add in the mat icon at the top here. And that's what you want your list items to look like now. We'll update the rest of these now. And I'll add in a pre-built snippet. So now we have all of our list items, one for the contact email, and then the user profile used a person, the save, and the task icon. So we have icons to all of our list items now. Let's see how this is looking in the browser. This is coming along. So we have a icon within our menu button, and that goes for our settings button as well. We have the tune icon, and then we have a bunch of icons now within our navigation. We'll be applying some style for the color for the buttons here in the next video when we implement the Angular material component within our pages component. Now, what's going on with the styles here? The reason we're not seeing styles here is we didn't apply the list directives to specify what styles we want to apply within our list. Let's add that. If we go to the documentation and then go to list, scroll down till multi-lines list right here. If you click on that on the right, and then scroll down a little farther, you'll see these directives. For example, if we use the mat list item icon, this will position our icon and also add some styles for it. Let's apply these directives within our list items. Inside of our mat icon, inside the dashboard, I'll add in that directive. And then we could also add a directive within our anchor tag as well. And I'll add another one for that. And that's called the mat list item title directive. Now our mat icon and our anchor tag should line up and look a little bit better. Let's apply these two directives to the rest of our list items. So I'll replace this. And now each of our list items have the icon and the mat list item title being added to each one now. Now let's do one more thing. We'll remove the text decoration from the anchor tag, and we'll apply a style to do that. So within the style sheet, I'll add a new rule targeting all anchor tags with the directive mat list item title. I set the text decoration to none for that. Let's see what that does in the browser. This looks amazing after applying the directives to each of our list items. Now we'll take care of these buttons here, and we'll bring in the Angular material button into our pages component in the next video.